Hold on to your hats, folks. Deadliest Catch Season 21, Episode 5 has everything: eat wild crab hauls, raging storms, family drama, and a heartfelt tribute that'll choke up even the toughest deckhand. If you think you've seen it all on the Bering Sea, this episode takes you deeper into the danger, the raw emotions, and the unbreakable bonds that keep these crews fighting for one more haul. Stick around, because I'm breaking down every twist, every nail-biting moment, and explaining how. But this episode is more than hauling pots. It's deeply personal, especially for Jake Anderson, whose uncle Nick Mavar recently passed away from a heart attack in Bristol Bay. The story unfolds with Jake reminiscing over what Nick meant to him. See a hero, a lifeline who pulled Jake from addiction's grip and gave him purpose on the sea. Jake admits, "It is the biggest gift I've ever been given." There is a real sense that this season, for Jake, catching crab is about honoring Nick's frustration over old bait being mixed with fresh. A huge no in the crab world ignites a shouting match between Keith, Monte, and the Decans. The wrong bait means weak pots, and in this business, pots with weak numbers can sink the crew's morale and bottom line. After some heated words and steam literally puffing from the engine room, the crew regroups. Keith and Monte butt heads, like they've done since childhood, but recognize that brotherhood, especially out here, means knowing when to bury the hatchet and focus on the mission. Storms build, the weather straight up nasty, as another crew tries to wrangle more crab onto the boat before offload. Sofia notices the ship is sluggish as they're pushing the limits, with the storm brewing and 35,000 pounds of crab waiting to be picked up. Then comes Disaster D. The tank holding the crab goes slack, endangering the entire haul to dead loss. Slack tanks in bad seas means crab slam against the walls, risking thousands in lost product. Quick thinking and hands-on teamwork get the pumps running again. It's a heart-stopping reminder that even when you're so close to victory, the sea can rip it away. Finally, it's time, on multiple ships, to return to the heart of the episode, the memorial for Nick Mavar. Jake brings Nick's ashes aboard, determined not to start without his uncle. The set is methodical. Jake moves pots 10 miles up, predicting crab movement and pouring his emotion and knowledge into the tribute. He needs a solid 40 average to have the numbers, hoping Nick's experience is guiding him from the depths. Elsewhere, Sig resolves to pull up pots at an angle, anchoring them with chopped up pots to prevent snapping, all in the name of honoring Nick. The emotional impact hits its peak during the tribute. Jake, voice cracking, shares how Nick gave him not just a job, but a new life. On deck, the crew invites anyone to say a prayer, and as the bell tolls, each clang marking the end of Nick's final watch, everyone is reminded of the risks and rewards of the sea. "Amen," says Jake, as Sig and Keith lead the crew in lighting fireworks for Nick, sending him off in style. Whether you believe in luck or legacy, pots start coming up loaded, as if Nick is still looking out for the crew. On Sig's boat, they're breaking records, with pots overflowing and spirits sky high. The episode closes with genuine humanity. Keith and Monte, lifelong competitors and brothers, find a moment to hug and say, "I love you." Jake's tribute to Nick is tearful and proud, and the crew feels a renewed unity. The tribute not only honors a fallen friend, but also seems to bring good fortune. Massive crab hauls, pots safe from snapping, and precious few dead crab. In the context of loss, danger, and struggle, The episode finds hope, family, and the sense that these men out at sea are never truly alone. To sum it all up, Episode 5 is one of the most emotional and thrilling Deadliest Catch episodes in recent memory. The tribute to Nick Mavar ties together the danger, drama, and relentless pursuit that define crab fishing, and the men who risk their lives doing it. Every battle with the sea, every hard-earned haul, and every bell toll reminds us why this job is the deadliest on Earth, but also why it's so meaningful for those who call the Bering Sea home. If you felt the power of this episode, or have your own stories about Nick or the cruise, drop a comment below and let's talk about it. Hit that like button if you were glued to your seat. Share this with anyone who loves real adventure. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a high seas moment from Deadliest Catch. See you next time.